Good morning, class. This is a video on how to do some basic visualizations of data in Excel. So what I have here, and I'm going to post this on Blackboard, is just a simple data set. So if you look to the left here, I have the month. And I'm assuming, the way I set this up is I'm assuming that at the end of every month, this paint company, looks at their amount of sales that they've had for that month. So you can see it's here at the end of January. This is the amount of sales, February, March, etc. Now, if I wanted to visualize this, if I wanted to make this into some kind of scatter plot or line, the first thing I would do is I would go up here and I would select all of this. So you see I have this in blue. So right now I'm just wanting to get a visual representation of the month and the amount of sales. So then I would go up here to Insert. And I always go over here to Scatter because I think it gives it a better picture. You can do what you like. I click on Scatter. I click on the little drop down here. Okay, and I usually click something over here, or sometimes I click this. Let's go with this one right here for right now so you can see. Okay, the little blue circle thing means it's thinking, and here we are. So I can kind of move this however I want to, and then I can come down here and I can make this bigger. So if I make this bigger, you'll see down here, sometimes you would think that it looks a little weird. These are kind of jammed up. The bigger you make this, the longer you give your axis here, longer you give your x-axis, the more it'll come. So what it's assuming is, back over here is December. Back going this way is December, and back going this way is January of the new year. So you can see if I make this bigger or longer I make this, the less jumbled this becomes. Now, when I look at this, you can see data points for each thing. Let's see if we can make this even a little bigger. Okay. Now, if I click on this and I want to know what exactly this number is, I can tell that it's a little greater than 10, which is what my chart tells me. But say I didn't have this data. Say I'm just giving this to my boss and I'm saying, look, whoa, look at this. Look how high sales are in this month, and look how low they are in this month, right? So they kind of go up and down. So the next thing my boss would say, well, how high is this number? And the closest thing I could say, well, it's less than 50, but it's greater than 40, and it's closer to 50 than it is to 40. But if you wanted an exact number, you can click on all of these little things. You can right click, and you can add data labels. And so what this does is it puts the amount of each point. Now, for your project, this may not be required, and this may not be in something that you want to show. You may not have sales or anything, but there do need to be some visual representations of data in your project. So this is one thing that we can do. If you don't want the legend, we can get rid of that. So you just click that and you would hit delete, and again that makes it larger. So now you have it looking a little less crowded. And your line is coming out because of course you only have one data point. Now, say I wanted to add another data point. Say I wanted to add the price of the Ace paint of every month with the sales. Okay, so I can come over here and I can highlight. I can go to Insert. And I want to do a scatter. If I just click this, it's going to give me a whole separate chart, and that's fine. If that's what you want it to do, that would be fine. If you want it on the same, though, let's get rid of this. Let's delete. The best thing to do is from the beginning to highlight all of this, go to Insert, Scatter, select this one, and it will give you a visual representation of how the price fluctuates over the months and how the sales also move. Okay, and then I could give it a title. I could delete one of these. I could still go here and click on this, right click, add the data points, etc. I want you to be able to get comfortable with doing this, and also get comfortable with, if you wanted to do paint sales as a percentage, there's all kinds of tables. So we have columns. So let's do a column real quick. That's kind of fun. Let's delete that. Let's come here. Let's highlight this. Let's just highlight the whole thing. And let's do a column. Okay, so let's do something like this. So when I click that, Excel kind of intuitively knows, like it kind of reads your mind almost. It's a little scary. Sometimes it doesn't hit it on the nose all the time exactly what you want to do, but most of the times it gets it pretty close. Now, you can have, you can see here that in our legend we have red is the price of Ace Paint, and we have blue is the price of the sales. Now, if we wanted to come into here and we wanted to format the data series, okay, we can go into fill. Actually, I think it is in a different one. Let's close that. Let's click. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, I can click in this and I can pick any color my heart desires. You can see as I go through all of this, it changes colors on the screen. I can pick any color my heart desires. So some of you spend a lot of time on your charts I've gotten in the past with making it really colorful and really pretty. You don't have to have a certain color to make it pop. But I do think that everyone needs, every chart needs a title. So if I want to format chart area, it should let me add a title. And again, a lot of times you have to play around with this until you find what exactly you are looking for. If I go, maybe it's in select data. That's not it. Let's go to this format. Chart title right here. Do you see this? Chart title. I can click. I want it centered. Overlaying. Okay. I can make it bigger. I can type in here whatever I want. Right? Do you see? Make the text box. Okay. I can delete it if I don't want it. If I want this to have if I want this axis to be labeled and this axis to be labeled, usually down here on the bottom, it's kind of intuitive that you have 8/1/2012. So it's kind of intuitive that this right here on the bottom, anybody reading this and say, oh, okay, so you have some kind of time series down here on the bottom. And then, of course, this has to be some kind of numerical representation because you're measuring paint sales and then the price of the paint. So this has to be numerical. A lot of times, though, it won't be obvious, meaning you'll just have some kind of numbers over here on the left and you'll have some kind of numbers down here on the right, and the person reading your chart won't know specifically what is what. So, I always think it's great to over-label or to over-try to explain, especially this being an online course. You're not going to be sitting up in front of a classroom explaining what's on your vertical axis and what's on your horizontal, independent, dependent axis. You're not going to have the ability to stand up and say, so this is what I did. So what you're turning in and what everyone's going to be reading is going to be based on what you label. So it's important. So I can do all kinds of cool things on here. I can add trend lines, meaning what do I think is going to happen in the future. Okay, meaning like, are sales going to go higher? Are they going to go back down? You know, January seems to be kind of a slow month for them. So all kinds of things. I encourage you to play around with this. I hope this helps for those of you who maybe have not had Excel, had to use it before. It's kind of one of the things you're going to need to master during your MBA time because a lot of professors require this. So feel free to play around. Let me know if there's any questions or if you have specific concerns about doing this. I hope this helps. There's lots of visualization stuff in Chapter 2 that you can look over, and Excel has them all. So if you look under Insert, there's all kinds of columns, line, pie chart, bar graphs, area charts, scatter plots. Anything that you want to visually show it has it. And also, I'm available to help you with your projects, and if you're having a specific area of concern with doing things in Excel. So I hope this helps. Let me know if there's any questions.